He's the new man in charge of DLineZou, Shipp, the new defensive line coach here at the University of Missouri. Coach, long career in this business coaching defensive line. This school right here has about one of the best reputations in the country, especially the last 5 to 10 years. So how have you enjoyed getting settled in your new position here at Mizzou?
Well, I've enjoyed it a lot. It's been a transition, moving in those different types of things, but you've brought up a great point, how good the defensive line has been here the past 5 or 10 years. So that makes your transition a whole lot easier. And that first day that I got out there and got a chance to watch those guys work out, I was very impressed by the way they could move and run and change direction. They worked very hard. So when you see that and you see a group of guys that you're going to coach that get you excited like that, oh, it makes the transition real smooth.
When you look at this group of guys, one of the deepest positions on the field for this Missouri team going into 2016, what really excites you about the entire group and maybe anybody in particular that stuck out to you about the way they play and especially the way they work?
Well, the thing that I really like is how they worked. And the first time I got to have them in drills, they worked very hard. They're very serious about their work. But then the big thing that you like about them also is they have very good size, very good quickness, and they can all run. And I'm not talking about usually in a situation if you have 10 defensive linemen, you might have 5 or 6 that really have all those qualities. What I've noticed in the first workout, I think I have about 9 or 10 that have all those qualities right there.
And ends and interior guys both. I mean, we've known Josh Augusta for a while now, and to see a guy of that size playing on the inside with that kind of athletic ability, I mean, it's across the board for this group, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Like you talk about Josh, very big man, tall, very big man. I think Josh can even be a better player when he loses a little weight. And I think he needs to lose some weight. And I think if he loses some more weight, you're going to see more explosion. He most definitely will not lose any strength. Very quick, very agile. And just imagine him taking some pounds off and imagine what he can be like. So I believe he can be a lot better than he's even been in the past.
Walter Brady's a guy that burst onto the scene last year as a freshman in this league, did some things that freshmen don't generally do in the SEC. Where would you like to see him improve in year 2?
Well, with the whole defensive line.
Yeah.
As a defensive line coach, one thing you always want to hear us talk about is fundamentals, technique. I'd like to see them all do that. Walter Brady, I think, is very talented, runs very well. I was surprised how much he weighs. He weighs about 270 pounds, maybe be a little bit lighter, but he runs very well with it. But going back to your question again, just improving all overall technique, fundamentals, and understand why you're doing things, and become more of a student of the game.
Charles Harris is a guy that, and we don't want to single out too many people, but you can't talk about this line without talking about Charles Harris. And, I don't know if you've heard the story about him coming from a 2A school. I wasn't recruited by anybody. That just, is it amazing?
Player.
Yeah, basketball player. On signing day that year, we had video of him dunking a basketball. That was what he was known for. What about the skill set on that guy and what he's been able to do with a whole lot of raw ability and good coaching?
Very good skill set. Again, and I keep repeating myself, but he's a guy that can run, has very good quickness. The thing I've even noticed about Charles, very knowledgeable. And all these guys are intelligent guys. I think they're all very intelligent. But Charles is very knowledgeable. And I kind of call it, as I've watched Charles in the 3 weeks that I've been here, he's kind of the guy I would call a professional. He takes care of his business. He handles his business like a professional, and I've been very impressed with him.
When you look at a group, defensive line, and your general philosophies, what are the things you really hit on with these guys every single day? What are the things that you really believe and preach to be a successful defensive lineman? Knowledge,
effort, fundamentals, and technique. But we're going to go over those same things every day. And those 4 qualities is what it takes to be a good defensive lineman. And I bet you could take those 4 qualities and use them in any position on the football field.
What does a defensive lineman really need to put into their knowledge base? What does a smart, knowledgeable defensive lineman know?
Well, I tell you what, treat them just. Why can't a defensive lineman be like a linebacker? Mm-hmm. Why can't they see backfield sets and formations, have an idea what tendencies are? Why can't they do those things right there? You never hear people talk about that. But it's amazing how you bump linebackers over and bump safeties over and different types of things. You can do the same things with defensive linemen. So the intelligence of knowing the game, knowing some of those things right there, Mike can anticipate what kind of block I'm going to get. Mike can anticipate where the ball's going to be ran. Might anticipate if there's going to be a run or a pass.
Any little thing to get an edge there whenever you're going up against an SEC offensive lineman, I'm sure. Spring football's here. What are the big goals for the defensive line in spring?
Well, the thing we're going to do, we're going to learn this defense. We have a new defensive coordinator here, Demonte Cross. He has some ideas and different things that he's bringing in that he wants to implement it. So we're going to get those things done. But you're going to hear me in every interview we do. We're going back to technique, fundamentals, knowledge, effort, and we're going to improve in all those things right there.
Coach, we appreciate your time. I know it's very, very busy, and we're glad you're able to carve out a few minutes for us.
Thank you.
That's Jackie Shipp, Mizzou's new defensive line coach, getting ready to get at it his first spring camp here at the University of Missouri.